Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time coming across my video, I'm Blessing, your nursing student bestie. If you're not subscribed to this channel, you want to do that now. I put 2 videos out weekly and you don't want to miss any of my videos because it's so informative, okay? So let's get into today's video. We are going to be talking about APGAR. What is APGAR? It's a quick assessment of a newborn's condition after birth. It's usually done at 1 minute and 5 minutes. It helps us to see how the baby tolerated labor and how well the baby is adapting to life outside of mom's womb. Immediately baby comes out, we press the timer, 1 minute. At 1 minute, we start checking for these things. So APGAR, it makes it very convenient with the name. APGAR. A stands for appearance. We want to look at baby's skin color. P stands for pulse. We are checking baby's heart rate. G stands for grimace, which is just checking baby's reflex irritability. A stands for activity. Here we are looking at baby's muscle tone. R stands for respiration. We're looking at how baby is breathing. Each of these categories mentioned are scored from 0 to 2. Looking at this image here, we see that if the baby is blue or pale all over for their appearance, the baby gets a 0 score. If the baby has a pink body with blue hands and feet, the baby gets 1. This is what we call acrocyanosis. If you watched my previous video talking about abnormal or normal findings in a newborn, you would see that I refer to acrocyanosis and central cyanosis. Acrocyanosis is okay to see in a newborn, but central cyanosis is never okay, and circumoral cyanosis, which is where you see around the mouth becoming blue, this is not okay as well. And you don't want the baby to be completely blue. That is dangerous. And then the baby gets a 2 if this baby is completely pink. For the pulse, if there is no heartbeat, we should be worried. That's a 0. If the baby's heartbeat is less than 100, if you've not seen my normal and abnormal findings in a newborn, the link is going to be in the caption. You should go watch it. I talked about the normal heartbeat for a baby, the normal temperature, just everything you should actually be okay with and concerned about in a newborn. So go watch that video. We know a newborn's normal pulse should be 110 to 160. So if you see heartbeat less than 100 beats per minute, that baby gets a 1. And if that heartbeat is greater than or equal to 100, baby gets a 2. For grimace, if the baby has no response to stimulation, that baby gets a 0. If the baby has a weak cry or a grimace, the baby gets a 1. If you stimulate the baby and the baby cries and pulls away, that baby is getting a 2. For activity, if the baby is limp, 0. Now, in the previous video as well, we talked about the baby's posture. When you give birth to a full-term baby, the baby is usually flexed, like you just see them kind of flexed on the bed. But if they have just some flexion, they get a 1. And if they have active movement, that baby gets a 2. Lastly, for the respiration, no breathing, the baby gets a 0. What are we waiting for? We should be so concerned if that baby is not breathing. And if the baby has a regular breathing, a 1. If the baby has a strong cry, which shows that they are oxygenating well, the baby gets a 2. When you add all these 5 categories together, the total is 10. 7 to 10 is showing that the baby is adapting normally. 4 to 6 shows moderate distress of that baby. And 0 to 3 shows severe distress and the baby needs immediate intervention. 1 minute shows how the baby tolerated the birth process, and then the 5 minutes shows how the baby is adapting to life outside of the womb. Remember, we talked about that in the beginning. When mom is about to have the baby, the mom usually has her own nurse. The baby has his or her own nurse. There's someone standing right by that woman, ready to go, ready to stimulate baby. We need to be able to identify babies who need oxygen, the ones who need suctioning or resuscitation. One thing you need to know is when you're taking the baby's temperature as well, it annoys them. Like all babies I've seen, they always cry when you put the thermometer under their armpits. And we also always want to do axillary for that baby. Axillary usually gives the most accurate result for a newborn. That brings us to the end of today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel, comment, let me know how you remember your APGAR or what is the craziest experience you've had in the labor room. We need to know, how did you feel? Did you guys even know about APGAR? If you're a new mom, did you know about APGAR before watching this video or before getting into nursing school? You need to share your experience with us. Okay, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.